does this game cost, Timster?
$20, I think.
Who
It
do
is
you put the
beta. Yeah,
$20?
Hey,
yeah.
who's this game marketed for? Millionaires?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, let's see. Creator
you s-
Marcus Notch persons. I don't
Are
know
you
who.
sure this isn't an iWhat app and you're just accidentally like got it confused?
No, man. I'm warning you. I'm dead serious. I am warning you. You're going to have bags under your eyes once you start playing this game, and
I
it's
can't spend
just
that much
Does it
money.
get does it get actually scary when the monsters come out?
well, yeah.
Like
16-bit zombies, man.
Well, here's my question, Timster. I mean, you link to a web page. Is it an Android app itself, or is it a web
No,
app?
it's not an Android app. This is just a Java app that you play. It's kind of in your browser almost.
Right.
Now I haven't gotten to the Android app part yet. There's a huge amount of different I want to say it's just combinations of items that you can put together to create things. And I'll give you some examples like, let's see, where was I on that? I think I actually X'd out of it. Oh, well, I'll open up my app here and I'll show you. Let me go ahead and link to this app here. It's called Minecraft Canary, and this is for your phone. And I'll show you here the different, exactly how just in depth this game is. If I can bring it up. Yes. Here's your workshop. Here's just an idea of just some of the items that you can pick up and combine. And if you go, and I'll give you the full list here. This shows you like you need wood to make sticks. And then with sticks, you can make a torch. And then with more wood, you can make a workbench. And then from your workbench, you can create all kinds of other items like an axe or a pick. But it's just endless. If you look at what I'm scrolling at here, the amount of different items that you can create in this game to survive. Now you end up building your own castles, your own buildings in any way that you like. And it just goes so in depth that I haven't even been that deep into it. But I would like any of the listeners to email in if you are a Minecraft fan and just comment on this app that I have here, because it's a really popular game.
Here's my question, Timster. Does what you do in that app affect your account in the game, or is it like a reference?
No, actually, it's just a reference, and
so you know how to do stuff.
Right. So like a lot of times when you're hiding from the zombies and you're first starting out and the sun sets, you don't know how long you have until the sun rises, and you're trying to create stuff before the sun rises again so you can keep going. Let's see if I can find it here. Anyways, this gives you a timer. If you're playing the game and the sun goes down, and then you can say, okay, sun went down, and then so while you're crafting some other items, you can watch your Android app on your phone, and you know how much time is left before daylight. And if you can see this is moving, it's counting down, so you know exactly how long you have, so you could time things out a little better. And indoor, it's just so involved and so in depth. It's really good to have a reference like this because it's so endless. It's unbelievably endless, the amount of it, and I think that's what makes the game so great. That and every time you start a new world, every world's different. Every single time, it's totally at random.
This is the first game I've ever saw. There might be something that existed before. This is the first game I ever saw, though, that you use your phone as like an addition, a tool in the game. That's so awesome. I think that's badass.
That's cool.
I'm really scared to turn people on to this because it is a very addictive game. It really is.
Yeah, I've heard more than a couple people talk about it, and the genius of the game seems to be simplicity. Let me see this right. The appearance of simplicity with, like he said, putting stuff together, endless complexity, And but you don't need to know everything. That's the thing. You don't need to know everything at all, and you can still do good and win the game, or not win the game, but advance.
Yeah, and you don't have to. It's not confined to one computer. Like you can go, you can play. You can spend hours on it at your home. Then when you go to the office, you log right back into your account, and your same world is right there, right where you left off.
Tipster, I missed the very beginning. I was fiddling trying to get the chat room up. Is this an MMO game or is it just your single player?
A single player.
Okay. Cool. Just checking.
I'll say you got me close, Timster. I ain't gonna lie, you got me close.
Well, why close? Why not all the way?
Well, first off, I'm always very uncomfortable with paying for games, period. Because you never play a game of almost any kind for any length of time. They always arc and fade. Apps like Dog Catcher, I know I could use for 3 years.
Right, I got you.
So I'll pay for that. Games are always a little bit hard for me to do that.
If they're over $1 or $2.
Well, even if they're $1, it's like, is it really worth it? If good reviews come out, maybe, yeah. But 20, it's like, I don't know, but everybody I know, and I don't know actually anybody, but man, they're hooked. Oh, so hooked. And these aren't, dumb people. They're all intelligent people, and they all say, don't just look at this game and take that for what it's worth. It's endlessly complex. And
I love the graphics of this game.
Same here.
Yeah,
Dor,
it grows on you, definitely.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Dor, when you play the game and you get into it, you will realize you'll automatically, it's one of those games, it's classic. You'll automatically know that you're going to get years of enjoyment out of this. It can never get old. It can never get old.
Serious? Wow, now you got me interested. I didn't know.
I'm telling you. And it's fun.
I'll tell you why you got me close when we get to the news.
It's that old time, Nintendo classic game type fun. It just gets you like that.
No kidding.
With zombies.
With zombies.
Yeah. And I don't know what else. I mean, I haven't gotten too far in depth in it. I can imagine what else is involved.
Neat. Great app, man. It's very cool.
Yeah, I got some news, so we'll talk about that later, I guess.
Sure. All right, over the door.
Man, Timster, man, I think he knows me too well. That's all I gotta say. Okay, I got a couple, and then just on the news part, this is the game. It's okay. The first app I wanted to mention is called Chrome to Phone. I gotta say,
we didn't do that one. Okay, I'm not even gonna say that anymore. Go for it.
I did purposely set
what?
Nothing.
Are you sure, Steve C?
Yes.
Okay, because I did purposely set you up for this.
You did?
Oh yeah, I did.
You mean you knew that we did that before?
No, I knew you would think we did it before, but we didn't.
Okay. What's the name of it again?
This app is called Chrome to Phone. We've done Phone to Chrome.
You know what? I'm not going to say anything else. If anybody can repeat as many apps as they want, I won't say anything else. I always end up feeling like the jackass, and it's not going to happen anymore. Good, Dor.
I'm sorry, I had to, Steve.
You got me. You did get me.
But I'll say this is a good, useful, functional app, and I did want to bring it up for the last couple of weeks. This is the inverse, because Chrome to Phone, if anyone uses, you can on your web browser highlight virtually anything there is, whether it's text in an email, text in a page, a URL, a picture, anything, right-click it, or go to your Chrome to Phone icon on your Chrome browser on your computer. You click it. Seconds later, you get either a pop-up on your phone or what you had was now in your clipboard on your phone.
Right.
I always need stuff going the other way, too. I need to be able to sit on my phone and say, oh, I need that. So I want to click it and say, Phone to Chrome. This is not by Google. The other app is by Google. This app does need a Dropbox account, which is a little weird, but that's what it uses for its syncing. You click.
Wait, this is not by Google? Because the page I just showed is google.com. Chrome to Phone.
No, this is Phone to Chrome.
Damn. Okay.
This does the inverse. They're both have their task and their need. Some people only need one, I would guess, but I, being geek nth degree, need both. This uses Dropbox to sync. That's the weird part. On your phone, you hit phone to Chrome, and it actually stores a file in a folder on your Dropbox that you don't even know exists unless you go look for it. And then in your browser, when you hit it, it accesses that same Dropbox, picks up what was there, and then displays it in your browser. And it's utterly seamless once you get your Dropbox account in both your browser and your phone.
No kidding.
Big fan just because it's simple, works, does what it says it does. I don't have to worry about trying to email it or doing extra steps.
Right.
Because you could always share email to but this is just share phone to Chrome, done.
I like it. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I'm definitely some of these apps I just really can't find. I really can't stop myself from using them over and over again. The next app I wanted to actually show, and I had to make my screen legible. So now we have a gigantic screen.
I see Podbuntu in the background.
Oh yeah, and I'm not running that one app. Don't worry. I think I learned my lesson.
Dor brought down into his whole block trying to show off Podbuntu the other day. Well, no, it wasn't Podbuntu's fault. It was the AVG tool.
It was AVG trying to do the update, and it wasn't throttled, which I can understand it not being. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
This app is called Droid Secret Tips. A lot of new users will get a lot out of this, and a lot of middle of the road, not necessarily long-term people will still get a lot out of this. Some of the things I learned, I can't learn because I don't have a keyboard, but guys at work that have a keyboard, I can, drop them little tips once in a while. An example tip is in your contacts list, click the picture or placeholder for the pop-up menu for the contact to call, send, or send the to call, send, text, or email. View Facebook page, view contact profile, yada, 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 depending on the data on the account. On the physical keyboard, here's one. Hold Alt and D-pad to jump all the way to the left and right. So if you're in a text field, and if you hit Alt and then D-pad right, you go all the way to the end of the right. That's a nice little tip hack thing. Or if you want to go all the way back to the left, hold Alt and hit the D-pad all the way to the left. And then you jump beginning and end.
Huh.
That's nice. And it's honestly at least 40 or 50 of these kind of tips in there. I just say it's the kind of app you need to download once. Maybe after that, you're going to be done with it, but it's cool to have as a reminder, as a brush up, because a couple things in here I kind of forgot. I'm not going to lie, because I didn't use them a lot. And now that I'm doing different stuff, I might need them again.
Sure.
Yeah.
It works, Dor. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Dude, there's more than that. You get this app, you scroll through, you'll see many keyboard hacks. Many.
Steve C, does your D-pad work?
Let's see. No, my D-pad doesn't work.
Okay.
I can test my D-pad for you, Tim. Sir, are you ready?
Okay.
It's right there. It's right there. Okay.
Thank you for shielding that door.
No problem. The next thing I want to talk about, it really isn't an app. It's an experience. Okay. There's a little issue with one of them, but I got over that pretty easily. And that is the application called Real HDMI. I knew it existed a while back. I knew one or two people that had no luck with it at all. None. Couldn't get it to work at all. And what it is a simple app. You launch, and if you have an HDMI port on your phone, hey, Timster, do you have an HDMI port on your phone?
No, Dor, I do not.
I just want to be sure. Okay. You take the HDMI port on your phone, output from the HDMI on your phone to a TV, big screen TV.
Yes.
And real HDMI needs root access, and it will say it's detected a signal. It isn't perfect. In landscape, it won't detect. In portrait, it would detect. But I got past that. Hit detect, hit connect, boom. I have my phone on my big screen TV.
In portrait?
The phone was literally sideways. But then when you leave the screen, you can go to landscape and it worked fine.
I got you.
So it was just while the activation of that application.
Okay.
Okay, so then I put the phone down, put it in landscape. Here's the other only bad thing with the application. The screen on the phone never changes. So you have to watch the screen on the TV while you're doing what you're doing to get your video set up, your movie set up, or your Wiimote controller set up. So I was able to use NES Droid and actually Tiger NES, I think it's called. I'm starting to like that emulator a touch better, and I can't say why. It appears to me to be smoother.
Okay.
But I was able to take my Wiimote, sync it with the Wiimote controller app, plug the phone up to the TV, use real HDMI application, and play old school video games with my big screen TV with my Wiimote, with my phone just sitting there getting all hot.
That's friggin' awesome, Dor. How did it run?
It didn't run perfect. It ran very good.
What was wrong with it? A choppy animation?
Honestly, no, it wasn't really choppy. It was just every 3 seconds, just a little digging of lag. And I don't think that was the phone or the real HDMI. I think that was the NES Droid.
Ah. Did it do the same thing on Tiger, though?
In Tiger, I swear I got better results. It might just be me. Now, here's one caveat. The people who had issues with it, I found out why when I first got my cable in the mail and I plugged it up, nothing happened. Real HDMI wouldn't connect. And I was furious. Well, it took me a little bit of digging. The HDMI support in these devices is from the manufacturer, which means if you have a blur-less Motorola phone with HDMI, you cannot use your HDMI port. The HDMI support is a software feature of Blur. So I installed DarkSlide again, and that one is a Blur desktop. And it's a touch slow from time to time. Yeah, I'll put up with that, just because now I can watch full screen, movies or video podcasts from my phone on my TV.
That's nice. That's the part I love about it, man.
Or I can play games. And the news, I'm going to add a little bit more to that about this and the ultra coolness. But that alone, to me, honestly, it makes me say I don't care about a keyboard because I can do this on my TV.
Dor, stop one sec. Stop 1 sec. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, continue.
Okay. And it's just a convenience thing. It isn't that it's great. It's that I don't have to have something else. I don't have to wipe the dust off of something, find a cartridge and slap it in and hit play for an old school game. I can just pull my phone out. Now, the only bad thing is that it's a phone. I'm sitting there playing ding ding, and then droid. That on my TV.
How's the sound? It sounds good? Perfect.
The only bad thing is that it's a phone. So if you really want the true gaming experience, you got to turn on airplane mode and turn off Wi-Fi.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the only caveat.
The resolutions and all that, Dor, coming from your phone, I don't imagine you'd have some kind of frame rate issues or how smooth is it playing games on your big screen TV using HDMI from your Droid X?
I can tell you, it was smooth enough for me on Super Mario Brothers, the original, to in one man get to world 3-1 and get the 99 lives.
Nice.
While my kid just sat on the couch, this is cool, Dad. Yes, it is, son. Yes, it is.
He has a cool dad.
Yes, he does.
Cool.
Yeah, so that really tickled my fancy. I sent you a video, Steve, and I was going to share it here, but when I took that same video and I tried to play it at my work computer with VLC, which is the app, it ran horrible.
We pulled up.
I
remember it ran great for me. What was the what day did you send it?
It wasn't from my Door-to-Door Geek account. It was from my Stephen C. McLaughlin account. That's the gimmick.
All right, I'll punch it up. And while I'm doing that, do you have anything else you want to go over? Or?
The only other app I want to throw out there super quick, and only because a certain population will find this app very useful, and that is Android Teleprompter. if you are ever at an important event where you have to speak at all for anything, I've done it before and it's kind of hard. It's kind of painful. This app turns your Android device into a teleprompter where you can take any text file, put it on the phone in the right folder, which is just SD card / teleprompter, I think. And then you load up the teleprompter. It looks unbelievably clear because all it is plain text.
Mm-hmm.
And you can set things like the pace of how fast the screen scrolls.
Right.
You can set it into mirrored mode. So if you lay it down, there's a piece of glass, you'll see the reflection. You can easily, like if you tap and scroll, it goes one full length of the screen at one time. So it isn't like you're going to scroll and go
right.
past the stuff. Because I had to do a little something. It wasn't anything important or vital or whatever. But I found this app to be definitely helpful. Because I just put in bullet points, but I still really liked what it was able to do.
So awesome. I was thinking about how I was going to solve that problem for myself with my videos I'm making for a podcast. I had a podcast. I'm just going to put my phone right next to the camera and load up the teleprompter, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, and I'll say for that kind of thing, all you would have to do is like, what you should do really is like once or twice go through it, and then you get the time and the pace. Because, to be professional, you have to have that time and pace.
Of course. And we settle for nothing less here.
Yeah, and I can't really do the time and pace. I'm all over the place. You know that.
Here's your video. There it is. Play using the Wiimote. The phone's sitting right over by the TV. And that is definitely Super Mario Brothers action.
Man, no, you're killing me, Door.
That's awesome.
Who's playing?
That's my 5-year-old. He's like zoned. I could have punched him in the back of his head and he wouldn't have noticed. But I'll say I don't want to say downside because everybody should expect this. There might be a setting in real HDMI. Honestly, I didn't dig through. The screen is not stretched, so you do have black bars on a big screen TV. I expect
I want that.
Right.
I don't like stretched either.
Right. I want the proper ratio. I want it to look how the developers intended it to look.
Yes.
Stretch makes me angry.
Yes.
It does. It should. It's not correct.
Yeah.
All right, let me go over my apps here. My apps. First of all, quick little game, Spider-Man. And I love Spider-Man because they had the gall to name it Spider-Man when it's definitely not like the real Spider-Man. But they named it that anyway. So I had to give them some props for that, calling it Spider-Man. It's pretty bad little game, just like Pocket. What was it? No Breaks, the game I announced last week. No Breaks something. I can't remember what it's called.
No breaks allowed, I think.
Yes, no breaks allowed. It's like that. Graphics are not great. Animation's not that great. But this is one of those games that had me playing it for more than 10 minutes. And if I play a game for more than 10 minutes, I want to bring it to the show because it's saying something for the game. So now it's a fun little game. Poor graphics, not great sound, but it's a little bit addicting. So that's pretty cool. The other two apps are, if you don't like the stock music player on your phone, there's an app called Music Mod, which is pretty cool. And there's an app called Zimly, which is pretty cool. These are two alternative music players to your phone. So while I'm talking here, I'm going to punch up Music Mod.
Do you know how to spell Zimly?
Yeah, Zimly. Let me pull that one up first. They claim it's the coolest media player. So you get some graphics there. You can see what's going on. You got the album art in the background. You got shuffle and your little features on top there. It's just a little more slick than the stock music player. I don't think my music player on my phone's the greatest. I don't know how it is on the Droid, but the HTC Sense, it's just bland. And then Zimly's actually cooler than Music Mod, but Music Mod's not bad. Let me punch that one up.
Yeah, the only thing I liked about my music player was if I held down on the album art, I would get this psychedelic effects. But to browse and find the music I was looking for was horrible.
Yeah. This Music Mod's pretty cool. It's for Froyo only though. And it just snazzes things up a little bit. It gives you a little bit more features. You can check it out. That's all I have for this week, actually. So, see, remember the. Oh no, remember the milk. I did want to talk about remember the milk. Love, 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 love. Remember the milk. If I want to remember something, it takes me like 2 seconds, literally, to put it into the to the phone, and I have it in there. And I tag everything. Here's how I do remember the milk. If I have an app and I want to talk about it, I go to remember the milk. I type AAA, which is the tag that I created for Android App Addicts, and then I type the name of the app. And then when we're doing the show, I just go to remember the milk and I do a search for AAA. All my apps come up. So it's like we were talking about last week, Steve D, with Notepad, but at least I need like a Notepad like that, but I wanted to have it with search features like this. So remember the milk is really fitting the bill for me. I love it more and more each day. So
That's nice. For me, one of the most important things is that ability to just to quickly add something to it. You know?
Yeah, that it does that.
Exactly. I know. Just like you said. So that's fantastic.
You should check it out. I'll give it another chance.
Yeah, I probably should.
You see that?
What?
Yeah, only you can bring previous apps talked about to the table.
Oh crap!
No.
Did I do it?
Everybody else says
What?
We're over it. We're over it. It just proves my point, though.
He's teasing you because you're mentioning "Remember the Milk" for the second time.
That wasn't
Or
wasn't official though, Timster.
Well,
that was
actually
in passing.
I think it's for the third time.
Yeah, we're over it. It just proves my point, but we're done. We're done with all that.
I can't say anything. Okay, I've dug myself in a hole,
Yeah, we're done.
and
we're done.
I'm out of it. I'm crawling out of it. Okay.
Well,
It's only bad when you do a Timster.
No, I'm glad Timster did it because now I know how it feels. I know how it feels now. So you got me back.
Yeah.
I'm really sad.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel better. I feel better.
Who has
Put
hand?
all this behind us now.
All right, it's all gone. We're all good.
Oh,
All right, let's
okay.
shake on it. Where's your
Okay.
hand? Shake.
Shake.
Where's your hand? Put it.
Shake.
Oh, that's right. You can't see the video. Okay. Door and Timster, you guys both have news, right? Or Timster had news. Timster, why don't you do your news first?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Let's see. This is wow. Let's see. This. Let me give you this picture here, posted up in this chat. But this is a Fujitsu. It's not really a prototype. Let's see. This is going to be the future, I think, or going to be, I don't know, something interesting. It is a dual screen smartphone.
What?
Yep.
Yeah, I think I heard of this one, but I didn't see it.
Smartphone.
Oh yeah, the Echo. No, it's Kyocera, right? Sprint brought this out when put David Blaine on the stage. He spit fish out of his mouth, and then this phone came out of somewhere. I wasn't there. Is this what you're talking
David Blaine? It must have been good.
Every time I think anytime you have to bring a gimmick on the stage, then that's a fail right off the bat.
Well, this picture here's running Symbian, but they're in the works on making one that runs Android. So, anyways,
Oh yeah,
it was news to me,
Symbian.
so-
Yeah, that is pretty much dead.
What? It was Sprint, right? Let me see. Sprint Echo, I think it's called.
Really?
Tell me if this is the one. You can't see the video. My bad. Well, here's the video. They did make it an announcement. Oh, I guess we got to watch a commercial first. Stupid thing. All right, there it is. Is that
Wouldn't
it?
have it any other way.
It flips open like that. Looks like they're holding two phones together, actually. But no, that's
That's
it.
what it looks like.
That's it.
It's two. Are you sure that ain't two phones super glued together?
Super glue.
Yeah, it looks like it. That actually looks better. The Sprint one looks better.
Whoa, that's cool.
Kyocera Echo.
Yeah, nice.
I think battery life is bad, but they give you a
well.
spare battery or something, and you put one in the other phone. I'm not sure.
I tell you, this is like good.
That's what I'm saying, and that's why I had to at least bring it up, because dual
Yeah.
screen
That
on your
looks
smartphone.
And well, here's the gimmick: the size of the screen, looking at it on Google Images, looks, to be honest, Steve, like not much bigger than our screen, just a touch bigger. But like this reminds me of the Entourage Edge tablet computer I was
Right.
lusting after for a couple months.
Right. You know, I was listening to a couple things about this phone, and apparently, because I mean, if you look at the picture, there's definitely the middle of the phone has a black line. So you try to extend your screen out, you know, you got to deal with that black line in the middle. But they say you get used to that line, and it just kind of starts to go away in your mind.
See, to me, they should minimize that as much as possible.
Yeah, me too. It literally is two phones super glued together.
I know, but it's honestly, I think it's cool because by the time I'm ready for a new phone, it'll be better.
Yeah, I agree.
That's probably cool for you, Steve, because you like big phones, right?
Yeah.
You could have one as a whole keyboard, and the other
Right.
one as like, I don't know.
Right.
You can have Angry Birds and going on one, and talk with the other.
You know, yeah. Now that you guys mention it, yeah, I'm getting more and more into this by the minute here, by the second. That's great.
Yeah, we have talked about screen phones before here, but
that was a concept.
The Fujitsu one,
Right.
you know, it was just a different.
Is that the one with the 3 screens? That was like a concept phone, wasn't it?
Right.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was. You're right.
But you know what? I did think about this phone. I remember thinking about this phone when they made the announcement. I'm like, that's cool, whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, am I going to get into this? Am I going to get into this phone? And the breaking point for me is going to be battery life. If this thing is going to last half a day, then it's out. It's totally out. I'm such a stickler for battery life these days, you know, having devices that are just getting better and better. Like the Apple stuff in particular just lasts forever. So you got a standard there. Yeah. And I'm now spoiled, and I want that standard on every device I have. So
I mean, if you think about it, the technology's there. You know, it's just a dual screen device. So probably the battery issue is probably the main thing holding it back.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Well, here's the gimmick. They should be able to have twice as much battery space because it's basically 2 phones. But here's the kicker, guys. You ready? First, you, Steve C. You can be playing Angry Birds on the bottom screen while you're checking email on the top screen. Timster, you could have the Minecraft app on the bottom screen and have the Minecraft Java app on the web page on the top screen.
Nice.
It's for everybody. Fun for the whole family. And Dor, what would you be doing with it?
I would have Super NES on the top and NES on the bottom.
Oh man, that would be awesome. Good one. Good answer. Good answer.
And for me, I could have I could put Google Maps on the bottom and extend it to the top.
Oh, that's news, guys.
You could use this as a backup in case your internet connection fails. You can have Skype on the bottom, video on the top.
Right. Steve D, I got some map news for you. MapQuest released an application, turn-by-turn directions, yada yada, points of interest, and it also takes advantage. You can choose the default map source as OpenStreetMaps, to which I believe can be, with enough time passing, a far superior map library to pull from.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hey,
and I did use it. It ran fine. The only downside to me about the app I tried was I like to have the navigation on my screen, but to mute the voice so I can still be listening to my podcast and not hear turn left in 150 feet. You know, shut up. I can see the map.
I did see that in the App Brain Market MapQuest. I'm like skip, but then you know I probably would have came back to it eventually, but I'm just like skip. All right.
Who wants to know where they are?
No. I mean, I'm just saying MapQuest is just too old school. Where have they been? You know.
I agree. MapQuest kind of crap the bed.
They are. The only reason I'll mention them is because they use OpenStreetMaps, and they have a built-in like bar at the bottom that you can easily hide. That has like banks, restaurants, convenience stores, hotels.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
All at the bottom. It's very easy to jump in and out.
You know, I want that dual screen phone now. I keep thinking about that.
I know.
All right, let's do some emails here.
Well, I got just a little bit of news.
Yes.
First off, it's not Android news, but it's hysterical, and I love it.
What?
Okay, a turd from Microsoft left, and he went to Nokia. Okay. Nokia decided to to not prioritize their MeeGo operating system, which was a combination of 2 Linux operating systems, and Intel poured a whole bunch of money in. The Nokia says, never mind, we're not going to go with it. We're going to go with Windows Mobile. Windows Mobile Phone Series 7 Series Phone Mobile.
So great.
And here's the kicker.
Yeah.
The very next day, over 1,000 developers walked out of Nokia.
No.
Yes, they did. Got the news article here, and I saw it. I had to tweet it and say, this is signs of a winner.
Yeah, but
You know?
Nokia developers leave, right? But this is the one part about this I didn't understand. If they're leaving, aren't they useless because they don't need them anymore, right?
Yes and no.
Wait, were they fired or they walked out?
They walked out. Of
You know what? They should, because they couldn't keep up with all these. They couldn't keep up with these other operating systems on the smartphones, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'll say
they
this.
weren't doing their job.
Why do they need phone developers when they have a phone operating system?
Right.
Well,
And
because
that's the part I don't understand. Aren't they useless?
Because the phone operating system they have is going to fail. It's designed to fail because it's using Silverlight, which Microsoft has already said they're going to stop using, and they're going to use Windows Presentation Foundation instead, but the entire phone is built off of Silverlight. So that Windows Phone Series 7 is designed to fail, period. Wow. It is pretty. I've seen it. It's very usable. Don't get me wrong. It's designed to fail.
Did you hear that you can actually you could turn the phone on and then use it quickly and put it down right away? Did you hear that?
I don't care. I don't want that.
It saves people's lives and stops accidents, Dor.
Yeah, come on, Dor.
I don't care. No,
it's phone so bad that people don't want to use it. That's basically what the commercial's saying.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
No, honestly, it is sleek. I've used it, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's a very nice device, and the hardware to me honestly completes it to be a good, solid device. Nokia worldwide is by far the #1 reseller of phone hardware. They sell something like almost 300,000 handsets a minute worldwide. Okay. No Android, no nothing we've ever seen in our life comes close to those numbers. So just having that alone, they're the Microsoft of cell phones. It's going to be really hard for them to truly fail. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But this, I think, is one of the dumbest moves I've seen, because the guy who went from Microsoft wasn't Finnish. Nokia's in Finland or maybe Sweden. There's a whole different culture there. Those people, let's just say they don't work 40 hours a week. They don't have our kind of lifestyle. They have no problem walking out and finding other work, because they're smart guys. They're very smart guys who work for that company, because they've done some impressive things. They just haven't hit America like the rest of the world. And I love the fact they walked out. They got to stand strong for what they believe in.
It's going to be interesting. Yeah. I think if you want to fail, teaming up with Microsoft is a good way to do it.
Yeah, I concur, sir. The next 2 things I just want to link to, I'm going to throw them in the chat. Talk amongst yourselves, people. It's a Samsung. There was Mobile World Conference event, Plaza Conference event, something, in Barcelona over the last week. Samsung showed a lot of devices off, including a 10.1-inch tablet. I gotta say, they can't update their friggin' devices to save their life, but they can keep putting out very nice looking hardware. So they're going to keep luring people into buying their product. And I took a look at them. Some of the products look real good. I'm not going to say there's a dual screen phone or, a what killer, because they can't get to the same price point right now. So it's just interesting to look at. And this,
it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good, but they shouldn't. I guess they have to compete with the 10-inch, form factor of the iPad. But I still like the 7. Still like that 7.
I absolutely agree. That's my perfect size. The last one to throw out there was TeamViewer. I mentioned it before. It's out of beta. It's now a full-blown app. I believe you still cannot get it from the market. Still, by far, the best remote experience I've had from Android. And I can only assume on a tablet, it's like butter.
Huh. Very cool.
Because it's like the way it's laid out, it's just perfect for sideways landscape remote desktop.
I'll tell you what.
Then,
go ahead.
You can Bluetooth a keyboard on it, and you're fine.
I even without Bluetooth and keyboard, I actually installed Log Me In on this streaming computer now because I'm trying to stream all our shows 24 hours a day, and I'm going to need to remote in when something goes wrong, and I installed Log Me In like an idiot. Now, since you said that, TeamViewer it is. That's what it's going to be. It's a free app, right?
Yeah, completely.
Isn't Log Me In on the Android like $30 or something like that? $50?
$30 for the Android app, even if you're remoting in to Log Me In free accounts.
Forget it. TeamViewer wins.
And I just want to throw this out there. I love Chris, but come on, Chris. Log Me In free is 100% free for corporate business use. There's virtually no reason for a business to pay $190 a computer a year to be able to remote into a computer. It's too much money.
Why? What does he use?
He said, I'm going to stop using Log Me In because it's getting too expensive. What do you mean? It's free. Oh, you're throwing your money away. Never mind.
All right, you guys can argue about this on the next episode of Podnuts. It'll be a nice change. It'll be a nice change from QuickBooks and FreshBooks.
I know, but I want to hurry and get that jab.
Throwing daggers.
All right, emails. Ellis says, "Say, Steve, I thought you would like to share this on your Android news. You recently mentioned on one of your podcasts the triple screen Android phone that is a concept from Verizon Wireless. But did you know that this spring Sprint is coming out with a new flagship phone to replace the Evo, which I love mine, that has dual screens? It's the Kyocera Echo. It will be running custom Android 2.2 multi-screen since standard Android OS doesn't support multi-screens. It has confirmed 3G, rumored 4G, dual 3.5-inch screens with a combined 4.7 in tablet mode with a resolution of 800 by 960. The processor's 1 gig Snapdragon 2nd generation, a 5 megapixel camera with flash and digital zoom, a 720p HD video camcorder. It will come with Wi-Fi hotspot capability, supporting up to 5 devices and a second battery. It sounds like an Evo with 2 screens. And we did show a couple pictures, but that's from Ellis. Thanks, Ellis. That was... Oh, he says check out the keyboard picture. Let me look at this one. It's doing the whole flash loading. You really want to turn me off from a site? Put a bunch of flash in like that and make me wait before I could click on things. All right. Anyway, thanks very much, Ellis. Awesome email, because that looks like a pretty cool phone. You might see Steve C walking around with that thing pretty soon. All right. This one is just a riot. This is from Payback, who's Josh. Let's throw this. Josh created a picture. Here's a little wallpaper I whipped up using a nice little app called Androidify. I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this and I'll show the picture because I can't do it at the same time. It's a great little app for making droid characters. Check out the wallpaper and see if you recognize anyone. Here we go. So if you're looking at the video, these are awesome. We have, all right, well, that's Dora with the glasses. That's me in the middle with the scrubby Brillo haircut and the boxers with hearts on them and the Podnuts shirt. We got Steve D with the goatee. All right, now my screen is, I can't see it too good. Is that Chris on the right?
I think on the right, Lalo, and on the left, I'm guessing Matt.
That's so awesome.
Looks just like you guys, man.
Timster's got to be in there. No, Timster's.
Oh, hey.
No, Timster's in there. He's got to be on the left.
I'll go for that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because
you mean Matt Rainey? No, this is for Android App Addicts. That's definitely Timster on the left.
Yeah, because Matt doesn't have hair like that.
Where is he? Josh. He's not in there. Payback.
Oh no, he said he had to go.
Oh man, that sucks.
I honestly believe he's on the other side of the world. So
Oh, well, this is a force to be reckoned with. Look at those badasses. We are Android bad mofos.
Right, and what I love, it's a free app. So flexible, it's frigging silly. And while you're doing the customizations, it quite honestly was one of the smoothest apps, period, I've used. Whoever did that app made sure smooth, easy, intuitive.
Ah, that's really cool. I love your shirt, Door Player.
Play on.
Is that heart boxers you're wearing?
Yeah, I asked him about that. I'll read his response. I said, nice picture.
Steve, where are your pants anyway?
I said, that's what we're talking about.
I know.
Oh, I said, Josh, that's freaking awesome. I'll definitely show this in the show. P.S. I love my boxers. And he goes, I figured that boxers were a good choice since we only ever see the top half of you.
Oh, nice.
I'm actually wearing white heart boxers right now, so I don't know how he figured that out. Good job. All right, let's see what else we got here. Thanks, Josh, for that. Derek says, hello, just wanted to say quickly how much I love the Android App Addicts podcast, my favorite of all podcasts. Thank you, Derek. I have an HTC Desire phone with 148 megabytes total system memory, 14.85 available, a 4 gig SD card with 3.5 gigabytes available, and 102 apps installed total. Okay, you guys have all those statistics? Moving on. I have moved all the apps that can be moved to the SD card. I can't install any more apps on my phone without deleting some, otherwise the notification pops up my phone's low on memory. I've cleared all the caches and cookies, etc., but it makes little difference. I've looked on the net and YouTube, but without success, so I'm turning to the experts, yourselves, for help. What can I do to allow me to install more apps? How do I overcome the low memory problem? How can I make my battery last longer than a day? And that's only very light use, and I have Juice Defender. I'm thinking of rooting the phone. That will improve my battery life and allow me to install more apps. What's the easiest way to root and or ROM my devices? I don't need nor would use the Wi-Fi tethering. I don't serve the net that much. Can you please offer some advice? From Derek in the UK. P.S. Would be great to hear this read out on Android App Addicts show. Would make my day. Love you guys. All right, Derek.
Wow.
Those were his questions. So let's just kind of tackle whatever one you guys know the answer to right away. What can he do to install more apps? Low memory problem, longer lasting battery life. He wants to root the phone. Easiest way to root? It's an HTC Desire.
Yeah, I don't know about HTC Desires.
I can tell you about what I do for battery life. Because I really like to use my phone a lot on some days. Some days I really use the hell out of it, and there's no chance I could possibly charge the phone enough. I can't get enough charging from it. So I bought 3 batteries for it.
Wow.
Yeah, no joke. And my old phone just so happens to be the original Droid, which I have the Motorola Droid. The original Motorola Droid, I have the Droid 2. They both take the same battery, so I'm lucky with that. My old phone, I still have it because it's kind of messed up and it's got all sorts of problems. So I use it as a phone battery charger. So I I charge both phones at night, and I pull the battery of the old phone and stick it in my pocket. And then if it comes down to it, I just power the phone down, swap the battery, and I'm 100% again. That's what I do.
That is the very manual way to do it, but it's effective. I have to admit.
It's very effective. It sounds like a pain in the ass. It really isn't. At least I don't think so. It doesn't happen. You start getting down to 10%. All right, there you go. Time to just switch it out, and then at night, just charge it back up. If you don't have 2 phones, just charge one to 100%, then swap the battery. You're at 5%. Leave it overnight. Done.
Well, here's my question: can you charge a battery without it being in the phone? Do you have an external charger?
No, the only external charger I have is the other phone.
Right.
Oh,
that's not practical for him.
Gotcha.
Now you understand. Yeah, I'm using my old phone as an external charger.
A lot of apps.
Go ahead,
a lot of apps. Check the web a lot. If you go into the settings on a lot of those apps and cut back on the frequency in which it checks the web, like Twitter and apps like that, that'll help big time with some battery life too. And as far as memory, I don't know. That's kind of a tough one. The internal memory is you're kind of stuck there. But speeding up the phone, if you could, I don't know how you can root that particular phone, or what app do you use? I'm not sure if
I don't know either.
Well, I mean,
whatever. But if you ROM it, if you can get it to where you can ROM it, that's going to help with performance a lot.
Oh, dude, that's my strongest suggestion. If you want to improve performance and battery life, ROM it, but do a search for the lightest OS you could put on it. I remember when I picked Fresh, it was because people said it's light, it runs fast, it extends your battery life, and all these things. And I installed it, and it did. So just find a nice light ROM that's not going to kill your battery. Probably most ROMs are like that.
Right. What I'll say is first, try to go and just Google search Z4 root XDA, and you'll go to XDA forums, Z4 root right there. It has a list of the acceptable phones. It has a pretty long list. If that works, you quite simply download the APK, enable out of market installs in your system settings, click it, install, click root, permanent root, boom, you're rooted. And then to be honest, just search, Google search, I hate saying it like this, HTC, Aris, ROMs, and then what I do
Desire.
is Desire, sorry. And then what I do is I say, just show me for the last 3 weeks.
To get all the
Nice.
updated ones.
Right, so you know what you're looking at is fresh. And to be honest, you'll be well on your way because ROMing is not even close to difficult once you comprehend it. Now, the first thing you really want to do is find out if you can SBF your phone. It's called SBF. SBF is like nuking and paving, where ROMing really isn't. It really isn't. SBFing, you're wiping everything off the phone and you're putting it back on. And then when you turn the phone on, you have to reactivate. That's how deep that is.
Wow.
With ROMing, you don't have to reactivate. You're not really nuking and paving. So always make sure you can SBF before you start twiddling with the ROMing.
Nice. Good tip, Dor. And I bet if he ROMs, he'll be able to get all his apps onto his SD card. All those errors will probably be gone.
Right. And there are ROMs that take all of these system applications and put them on the SD card.
Aha.
I've seen that too. There are Linux tricks you can do where you can make symbolic links to folders and say, the folder is no longer here, but there's a symbolic link and the folder's on my SD card. That's a little worrisome. I wouldn't try that. Like Steve C said, find a light ROM is your best bet to have the most space available on your card.
Awesome. Thank you guys for all the emails. If you do want to send us an email, send it at mail@podnutz.com.
There's one more email.
Oh.
Bluetooth from Lalo. I believe it was from Lalo.
Okay.
Maybe it's from Lalo.
Bluetooth from Lalo. And please do not read on your show. Okay, that's not the one.
Oh, well, that ain't the one.
No, that's old. I don't think I have that one, Dor.
I thought it was, but might not have been Lalo. So basically we had that email last week about Bluetooth. And then in the forums, I know we had an email. In the forums we got a posting. And I know I got an email too, and it was like almost the exact same thing. I did do a little bit of research, and here's what I found out.
Oh, the one from Ray. I got you.
Yes.
Didn't we read that on Android App Addicts last week, or just Linux for the rest of us?
No, that was last week, but then this week I got new question. And I thought it was from Lalo. It was from somebody I knew that should not be asking this question. So I did some researching.
What was the problem he had?
Same kind of thing. He could connect and pair, but he couldn't do anything else. So in the forums, I linked to an article. If you just go into the forums, podnutz.com/forums, search Android Bluetooth, it'll be right by the top. And I'll link to an article, and the article says in the very first or second paragraph, note, for many of Android's file transfer capabilities, you need to be root. So by default, the Bluetooth is supposed to be for a headset or for a keyboard, not necessarily for file transfer.
Uh-huh.
So you got to pwn the device.
Pwn it. Isn't that the solution to everything? Jeez. It really
honestly, if it's the Linux philosophy. If you want control, then you have to take control.
Oh, I like that. It's very proactive.
Mm-hmm. Don't wait for somebody else to do something for you because you'll be waiting a long time.
Awesome. What was I saying? If you want to send us voicemail or emails, mail@podnutz.com. If you want to send us a voicemail, call 7076-PODNUT on a regular phone. I'm gonna have let those numbers come up every time I say that. I just don't have that set up yet. We're going 24 hours, 24/7 with Podnuts. If you go to podnutz.tv, I have to say, if you go to podnutz.tv, I'm gonna go there right now. We're doing a 24-hour channel. That means basically it's the Justin TV channel you're watching right now. But if we're not doing a live show, there'll be another show, a rerun, streaming. And I have to say that the size that I made the TV in the app is, oh gosh, I don't have the...
It's perfect.
It fits your Droid phones perfectly. It just fits right in the middle there. And you can watch us streaming. Let's see. I'll turn it on.
Right. And while you turn that on, I say this kind of stuff to Chris because he can dish it right back, baby.
What?
There's the reason I always egg him on because I know he loves giving it right back.
Look at that. Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
Not only am I showing myself, it's green, so it's transparent. Really weird. And the Mucinex, I got it right in time for the Mucinex commercial. When you want Android news, you must have mucus. I mean, look, I hate this stupid commercial.
Well,
It's so targeted. Green. I bet you they got that from the green in the Android logo, mucus. How do they target that? I don't get it. All right. Enough grossness.
You should show yourself showing yourself.
With mucus. Covered in mucus.
covered in mucus.
Well,
Blowing
mucus
my
isn't
nose.
always green.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's clear. Maybe that.
Yeah.
That's true.
Sometimes
Yeah,
brown.
My kids
If it's
just have
green, you
beards.
got a problem.
Dora, where can people find you?
DoorDoorGeek.com for the email. Right now, I'm being really busy at podnutz.com.
We could use all the help we could get over there. If you guys want to contribute to the awesome Linux distro that Dora's putting together, it's very cool. It won't crash your machine, I swear. And
It won't, because
Just kidding.
you're going to be smart about it.
Sorry. It's really, really neat. I mean, it's got all these tools for computer repair techs and podnutz enthusiasts, if there is such a thing.
Right. It's in its infancy. It's in its infancy right now. It's only going to get better, but I'm going to have direct links to Podnutz videos, Podnutz audios, Podnutz forums, Podnutz contact list, Podnutz software list, like the one created by DataMike. And I'm going to have built-in AVG, other scanners, Bitdefender scanners,
Right.
Windows password resets, and I'm going to manually type out a system restore.
Nice. Thank you, Dora. That's awesome. William said podthusiasm.
There you go.
All right. Tim Kelly, where can people find you, Tim?
Well, first I just want to give a real quick plug for our TeamSpeak server that Fuber Johnny R set up for us, and he, out of his hard-earned money, he donated to Podnutz to set up a TeamSpeak server. So everybody go and download TeamSpeak, and it's a great place to go and find and be able to talk live and chat with anybody that's in there. And the server's name is Podnutz TS, and there's special guests in there. Sometimes Payback was in there. Mitch is in there sometimes. So we talk about tech. We talk about Android phones. You can come in and just hang out.
Podnutz TS?
Podnutz TS.
And the port is
the
4160 according to Reliant here.
Yes, I think that's just the server. That's just the port that comes up automatically. So
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah, and Podnutz forums. There is a section in there. It's a great place to go as long as I can keep the spam out. For Android App Addicts, there's a section in there, so you can go in there and leave any comments for the show. And a great place to go also for just general Android conversations is the IntelliDroid forums put on by Seafolks.
Aha.
And you can find me at Timster_ and
On Twitter?
And yes, on Twitter and timscomputerfix.com.
Very cool. Thank you, Tim. Steve D, where can people find you?
You can find me at SMD Steve on Twitter, and my blog is stevendmiko.com.
Awesome. The guys in the chat, Tim, are saying that the server is called podnutz.instantts.net.
Yep, and you know what? Thank you, Payback, for that. That was my fault.
And the Mac Geek.
Instant
And the Mac
TS.
Geek.
So podnutz.instantts.net for the TeamSpeak server.
Sorry.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
We all need to be checked, Tim.
I thought you knew something I didn't. That's why I didn't say anything.
It's better than doing a duplicate app, Tim.
I thought that was behind us.
Ouch.
All right. And like I said, you guys know where to find me. Thank you all for watching, listening, streaming. It's been fun. We will see you next time. Oh, by the way, before I go, I'm looking for a line to replace I'll see you next time. I put this out on a couple other shows. We're going to have a little contest here. Send me what you think should be the closing line of Podnutz. What do you want me to say to end off a show? Because I really don't like see you next time. It's overused. It's not exciting. It's boring. Send me something good. If I pick yours that I'm going to use on all the shows, I'll send you a hat and a T-shirt. So that's the deal. Thank you guys all for. Of course, in the chat room, they're already putting in their candidates.
I'm sorry.
Thanks all for watching, listening, streaming, and see you next time.